This brief presentation will talk a little bit about policy for distance education, but you will find more information through the articles that I posted next to this video. There are several different policies at different levels and different types. 6 of them: academic policies, administrative policies, faculty-related policies, student-related policy, legal policies, and technology policies. This can be reflected on an institutional level, but sometimes some of these are also influenced or affected by some policies outside of the university, like the state policies or regional policies, or even like federal policies they have, the national policies they have for education and online education. The examples of academic policies might be about quality assurance that we discussed in the previous presentation. Could also be about the student's academic misconduct, like plagiarism or cheating. Program course approval can also be part of this, as well as student grades. Administrative policies can be about the admissions or enrollment criteria, budgetary priorities, and service areas, as well as like tuitions and fees and licensing and procurement. Faculty-related policy include training and certification for faculty members, course evaluation, including the instructor evaluation, faculty hiring, oversight, and compensation could be part of this as well as workload and promotion and tenure for this faculty who are teaching these courses. For the student-related policies, there's advising, mentoring, technical support, ADA support, financial aid, which is really important. For legal policies, there should be some legal policies and issues about data security, since you're collecting a lot of students' data only fully online. There could be also intellectual property rights, especially about the courses that the faculty created. Some universities will take all of the ownership to the institution, but some institution will allow the faculty to take the intellectual part of it. So there's like a, not a clear-cut line for this, but there are different institutions imposing different policies on that. Accessibilities, diversity, inclusion are all included in this pod as well. And lastly, technology policies, learning management systems, access and management are part of this. Third-party software and acceptable use of technology are also included in this technology policies. Policies for distance education at different levels include federal level, regional level, state level, and institutional level, as we discussed. Federal level may include policies such as accreditations and financial support. For example, there is a rule of 50%, which is institutions receiving federal aid are currently prohibited from outsourcing more than 50% of an academic program to an unaccredited provider. It has, but that is sort of like changing right now. There's also a change in the 12 hours rule, which is used to state that financial aid can only be given to the students who are attending a face-to-face classroom at least like 12 hours per week. This has now changed more generously for distance learners. There has been another act on 2002 Technology in Education and Copyright Harmonization Act, which is the TEACH Act, which eases restrictions on using materials in distance education courses. This level, policies can also talk about issues like digital divide. For the regional level, regional accrediting process is another thing you need to look into. There are several regional accrediting commissions who guiding for institutions on how to electronically deliver distance education. You can find such guideline in the links provided next to this video. Like for example, in Texas, we seek accreditation from SACS, which is the Southern Association of Schools and College. State level policies are often similar unless some legal issues are not only state related, but constitutional federal laws related are kind of like similar to the federal level policies. For example, something like copyright law, that's pretty much the same in all states. For most programs in the state, if you were to develop a new program, you need to go through not only the institution level approval, but there are authorization of a program to be online at a state level too. There are too many similar programs in the state. Often they reject a program to be online, and they won't accept the application for that. So please do check on the materials provided next to this video to understand further about different state level policies. Institution level, we talked about it. There are different policies on students, different policies on faculty, administrative policies, legal policies, and technology policies as well. Finally, I wanted to touch base a little bit on the policy frameworks for K-12 online learning. This is a new, not a completely new trend, but it has been around like a decade or a little bit more, especially in the United States. And I think this will grow quite a bit after 2020 COVID-19 outbreak. In 2009, the International Association for K-12 Online Learning, which is INICOL, issued a report entitled Funding and Policy Frameworks for K-12 Online Learning. They kind of updated this several times, but they urge for a quality policy for online learning in K-12 setting because that's one of the options that could be given to the students. Not really competing with face-to-face, it's more of an option and more of a supplement. And it could also be fully online to give different types of opportunities to students and different options to the students. So they want online learning as one of the high quality learning options for public education. They also urge that there's a need for both full-time and supplemental online opportunities. A range of online learning opportunities are needed. Fair and sensible funding for quality learning is also needed. Thoughtful teacher licensure requirements. So some teachers who wants to teach online needs to have further training. Accessibility and enrollment caps needs to be flexible, allowing the learning to transcend time and place related to requirements and focus on student achievement only. Valid research for quality assurance for K-12 students. As I mentioned, K-12 online education is still a very murky and unsure area compared to higher education and organizational training perspective. Teachers' professional development and accountability issue needs to be taken care of for the online education as well, and allow fully online schools and secure funding, for students and teachers for that. So these are kind of like a movement constantly happening in the K-12 line to move to online, and I think this 2020 COVID-19 outbreak will facilitate this discussion even further. So I would like you to look into this report as well.